Hi gang, it's your best friend, your best buddy in the whole wide world, Jim Sterling, readjusting the arm on his microphone while he's talking, because that's professional! So look, I'm not the only one who has to stick rubber gloves on and shove his hand elbow length up Greenlight's corpse's ass for as long as that blowflying corpse is being left out to rot in the sun, before Steam shovels it into the river where it belongs and replaces it with Steam Direct. There's a YouTuber by the name of Sid Alpha who is currently undergoing a DMC-Takedown strike, because those always work so well. The studio in question didn't like his coverage of their work, and I use the word work very loosely because they did practically none. They've been trying to get games greenlit on the Steam Greenlight page, and all of their submissions happen to be stock Unity asset flips. The Unit Z kind. They take the sample games and then just throw them up completely without editing. Classy. The company in question originally went under the name Dentola Studios, D-E-N-T-O-L-A Studios, although changed its name to F1N to try and avoid the negative publicity after it got out that they'd issued a DMC takedown strike against Sid Alpha. And currently all of the games can be found under the profile of Jaff Stuck, that's the current name they're all published under. There are 6 of them, 6 of these games: Escape from the Tribe, Endor Force, Echoes and Death, Castle Defense, Halloween Nightlands, Spooky, and Airplane Cloudline. Sid Alpha and his followers had been letting people know that these games are asset flips by linking to the assets used in each one of these game trailers in the comments, but of course the developer deleted them all, and really doesn't want people to know that they've been surreptitious, lazy little fucks, and so they've been trying to silence and censor criticism on YouTube, because that, as I've said, has always proven to be an effective tactic. It makes you look mature, it makes it look like you are ready to be part of the game industry and take the criticism that comes with that, and you don't at all look like a cunt. So we've seen this story before. Total Biscuit's dealt with it from studios. I've obviously dealt with it from studios, you know, Cobra Studios, Digital Homicide, and some others. Like, at this point, their names escape me, which really is what ought to happen to them. They should just be consigned to memory after a certain period of time, but not before the Streisand effect kicks in and their attempt to silence a critic just leads to that criticism being amplified. Which, of course, is the reason this video right now exists. It's a nice little lesson to certain developers that the attempts to silence people on YouTube, it never works. You just hand them a megaphone. That's all you're doing. You're handing them a big fucking megaphone and saying, sorry, you weren't loud enough. Why not try shouting into this? As someone who's been through this rigmarole before, I know how it's going to go down. Basically, what's going to happen is Sid Alpha has filed a counterclaim, and the developer in question, Dentola, F1N, Jaff Coots or whatever, you know, they can sit on that claim for 2 weeks. It's got to be 2 business weeks, 14 days, 14 working days. I can only say that so many different times, but I think you all got it at the first way I said it. But anyway, 2 weeks, it'll just get ignored, and then the video will be back up. And all that will have been accomplished is that Dentola Studios and their awful games have been exposed for the shitty shams they are to a much wider audience. Total Biscuit, I know, has already gotten people looking at this. I tweeted about it yesterday, I'm doing this video now. So if Dentola thought they could get away with it, they've really, really fucked up at the planning phase, haven't they? My opinion of asset flippers and piss takers on Steam in general is low. Very low. But those that double down on it by then somehow having enough pride in the work they didn't do to do something like this, to try and quash critique, to try and silence anybody that's calling them out. I mean, it's a new level of desperate and pathetic that just, it disgusts me. Absolutely disgusts me in my bones. Sid Alpha, of course, has done a video response to this. It's a very good video, very well measured, very reasoned. It doesn't fly off the handle. Very calm. It's very unlike something I do. In fact, I feel like I'm coming across more angry and emotional in this video than he does in his, which is a testament to him, actually. But I will just go ahead and say, Dentola, like, whoever, whatever you are, you, or if there's more of you, because sometimes there are, like maybe you've got a brother as well, you dickheads, you fuckwit ding-dong dickheads with foreskins for brains. And this won't work. You won't win this. No one ever does. You do realise that if you want to keep this video down, you'd have to pursue it in court, right? You'd actually have to file a civil suit. And believe you me, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. So no, you're going to sit on this for 2 weeks, hope it all blows over, but when the 2 weeks are up, Sid Alpha's going to have a fucking field day with you. I should know, I've been there, Total Biscuit's been there, that's what we do. We spend the 2 weeks enjoying the free publicity we get, and the negative publicity you've brought on yourself, and then 2 weeks are up, you've played your hand, and we're still at the table with so many more cards to slap down. YouTube's copyright takedown system is not a toy. It's not some special magic bullet you get to deploy when your feelings are hurt. That's not how this works. It's there for a very distinct reason. And I've certainly not had that actual reason ever deployed against me. This is certainly not a legitimate use of it. The times it's happened to TB, totally not valid uses of it. Those are abuses of it. The fact YouTube doesn't have any recompense for that is kind of disgusting and a real shame, and something I think they should work on, because I thought by now no developer would be fucking stupid and incompetent enough to think that a DMCA takedown actually works, to think that this will end well for them. But apparently, some of them are still fucking idiots. Complete and total fucking idiots. And there should be some consequences to filing a frivolous takedown like this, if only for the protection of the person filing it. In the same way that people get fined for not wearing a seatbelt, right? Just some sort of dissuasion, some sort of consequence for them doing something so self-harming. They hurt themselves when they file these things. At the very least, the person falsely claimed against, or a loved one of their choosing, should be allowed to visit with the filer, with the accuser, once the DMC takedown has evaporated because they couldn't back it up. They should be allowed to meet with them at a mutually agreed upon spot, and the person who filed the claim should bend over, drop their drawers, and allow the other person to kick them directly on their anus, with whatever footwear they like. Anyway, fuck all this shit. Sid Alpha. There, I'll plug his YouTube channel so he gets more publicity off the back of this. There it is, there's a link to it. I'll put it in the description, and oh, fucking shite hawk asset flippers. Fuck off.